The first scream did not come from the alien sky, but from the ground, from a grave that was not supposed to speak. And when the soil cracked open under Leora's bare feet, she tasted iron in the dust and knew Earth was lying to her. She had crossed 4 light years as a low-ranked courier, the kind no one saluted, the kind commanders forgot, because her left eye was milky from an old burn and her back still carried the marks of a punishment collar. Even her own people called her broken. They said she was soft. They said she felt too much. She believed them until the day her ship was shot down above this blue planet, and her distress signal went unanswered by the fleet that had promised to extract her. And she fell alone through burning air like a rejected prayer. She woke in a crater of glass and weeds, trembling, her suit torn, her ribs tight with pain, and the silence around her felt like a judgment. The humans found her before she could fix her beacon. They did not arrive with wonder. They arrived with rifles and harsh lights, faces covered, voices sharp. They dragged her through tall grass that cut her skin. They called her an invader. They called her a test. A young soldier with tired eyes looked at her with fear and pity, then looked away as if pity was a crime. Leora tried to speak in their language, slow and careful, telling them she was lost, telling them she carried no weapon, but her translator flickered and gave the wrong words. And the humans heard threat where she meant surrender. They bound her hands and hooded her head. They brought her to a city made of pale stone and glass towers, guarded by banners that showed a woman's face in gold. She smelled smoke and metal. She heard crowds, and she heard only women. Every voice was female. Every step that marched was female. Every order that snapped through the air was female. When the hood came off, Leora stood in a hall lit by cold lamps. A line of armed women watched her like hunters. Their armor was clean. Their eyes were hard. On a raised seat sat a ruler with gray hair braided tight and a scar that split her lip. The ruler's name was Regent Mara. Her gaze held no curiosity, only control. An alien, Mara said, and the word carried both insult and warning. On a planet that has paid enough for outsiders. Leora's throat tightened. She searched the room for a man, any sign she was not misreading. There was none. Her loneliness sharpened into dread. "Where are your males?" she asked, and the translator finally worked, and the hall went still as if she had spoken a curse. A soldier struck Leora in the stomach with the butt of her rifle. Leora folded and gasped, not from the pain alone, but from the sudden hatred that poured out of the room. Mara leaned forward. "We buried the last men long," Mara said. "Do not speak their absence as if it is new." Leora stared, confused and sick. Her people had studied humans in old data. Human males were part of the species. The idea of a world with none felt wrong, like a song missing its low notes. "How?" she whispered. "Why?" The question made the soldiers tense. The ruler's face hardened further. "You are here because you fell here," Mara said. "You will be studied. You will be kept. If you resist, you will be ended." Leora wanted to scream that she had already been kept and studied, and ended in ways no one saw, but she swallowed it. She had learned that weak ones survived by becoming quiet. She was placed in a cell under the hall, a clean room with a single light and a camera that watched her blink. Days passed. Women in white coats scanned her bones and drew her blood. Guards treated her like a disease. She ate gray paste. She slept in short bursts because the light never fully dimmed. At night, she listened to the city above, the rhythm of boots, the distant hum of engines, the thin sound of music that felt like mourning dressed as pride. She began to notice small things. Human art showed women holding swords, women holding infants, women standing over graves. Their stories did not show men at all. Their schools taught girls to aim and march before they taught them to sing. Their streets held statues of a single man, always broken, always kneeling, always faceless, as if even memory had been punished. Liara's chest ached with questions, but no one answered her. Then one evening, the guard with tired eyes returned alone. His name, she had heard once, was Captain Ellen. He was not a man. He was a woman with a voice that tried to stay steady and failed at the edges. Ellen opened the cell and slid a cup of clean water inside. "Drink," she said quietly. Liara reached for it with shaking hands. Ellen watched, then spoke so low the camera might not catch it. "You should not have asked about men," Ellen said. "It wakes old pain." Liara met her gaze. "I did not mean harm," Liara said. "My people left me. I am not your enemy." Ellen's jaw tightened. "Everyone says that," she replied. "Then they take." She hesitated, and something like guilt passed over her face. "They say you crashed near the red fields," Ellen added. "That is Forbidden's land." Liara remembered the crater, the soil that had tasted of iron, the way the ground had cracked as if it breathed. "Why Forbidden's?" Liara asked. Ellen looked away. "Because the ground remembers," she said, and left before Liara could ask more. That night, alarms screamed through the city. Lights flashed through the corridor. The cell door slammed open. Ellen stood there in battle gear, breath fast. "Move," she ordered. Liara stumbled out, confused. Ellen shoved a cloak into her hands. "Put it on," she said. "The Regent wants you moved to the vault. There is an alien ship in orbit. Not ours, not yours." Liara's blood ran cold. "My fleet?" she asked. Ellen shook her head. "No," she said. "Something older. It sent a message. It called this world a lost farm." They ran through tunnels under the city. Above them came distant explosions, then the deep roar of something falling. The ground shook. Dust rained from the ceiling. Ellen kept pulling Liara forward, but Liara's injured ribs burned, and her legs threatened to fail. She wanted to stop. She wanted to curl up and accept the end like she had done so many times in her life. But Ellen glanced back once, and in that quick look Liara saw fear, not of death, but of failing someone again.